Team meetings are key to any great business in running production, operations, and making sure everything's getting done that needs to get done. But they can also be a source of inefficiency and a lot of missed productivity. So let's look at a couple of key steps to make sure that you've got implemented inside of any of your team meetings so that you're making sure that you've got that most productivity out of the time that the team members are spending in the meeting. First one is easy. Do we have a set mission for the meeting, objective, and also an agenda? Sometimes we start with a great idea and then these meetings just change over time, whether it's just a little bit of drift here, a little bit of drift there. So going back to what is the purpose, what is the mission, what is the objective for the meeting, and making sure that we're following an agenda. If we need to change the agenda, that's fine, we can change it, but let's follow its structure. It allows everyone to be very clear on how much time they have to present or give the facts, and also what other things are happening in the meeting so that we're not bouncing around too many different topics and ideas altogether. The second one is let's make sure that everyone in the meeting is being engaged in some way. So if we do have someone that's not engaged, let's go back to the agenda and see if there's an opportunity for them to get engaged, or let's look to see if are they really needing to be there. It's a good question to ask. It's not to say that they're not valuable. That's not the purpose. It's are they valuable inside of this meeting that we're spending time and resources with? So a good way to get some engagement inside of that is to go through and make sure that everyone's name is in part of the agenda or has a corresponding action inside of it. If they're bringing something to the table, it's also a lot more involvement from them that they are ready to present. They've got their background figured out. They've got their the information ready and at hand so that they can answer all the questions that we need to ask them. And the third one is as simple as making sure that we have actions and deadlines with everything that we talk about. Not just at the end of the meeting, but making sure as we're going through, let's define it. Say, yes, look, that's an action for me. This is the date, let's just move on. So we have a note to them at the end of the meeting, which becomes the first thing that we put on our agenda for the follow-up meeting, or whether it's a structured scheduled meeting, weekly or monthly. We always go back to what were the notes, what were the action items from the last meeting to make sure that those are getting covered. And they also can get sent out as part of the agenda, depending on how you want to do it inside of your business. So a clear objective, making sure everyone's engaged inside of the meeting, and that we've got actions. Those three things can make such a huge difference to your meetings. You might have all three of them, you might just have two or one of them. But if you'd like to sit down and spend a little bit more time talking about a specific meeting or structure, or where you're having some maybe some thoughts around that you're missing some productivity inside of some of those meetings, you reach out to me at ActionHTX.com. You can set up a free Zoom call, go over the meeting, go over the structure that you've got currently in place and see if there's any opportunities. Or we can spend a little bit of time talking about the larger business, what objectives you had, what goals you have, and how to get there in a proven, systematic fashion. I'm Andrew Buchan, your Business Accelerator.